curse deafeens their children too. And their children forever true.
What's going on, YouTube? Y'all already know, but in case you don't, let me let you know again, man. It's none of yours truly, save your souls. The best lightning man I heard, destroy the elite faggots and the fag dame and the faggots in the dame, man. We back at y'all with another one, bro. Oh shit! All right. If y'all don't want to see this, I'm gonna tell you right now, you might as well just tune off, because this is going to be a really long one, and this is not as much as I would like for this to be about the player that I'm playing against, bro. This isn't about, in quotations, her, which, you know, I don't really agree about that shit.
You have my thanks.
You know, I take this as the same equivalent as, you know, beating up the main, you know, the main villain himself.
Sorry.
So, you know, the little aspects here, the little things here and there, you know what I mean? Mind you, I'm going to massively underperform in this match, because I was not expecting a assassin in this match. I was expecting, I don't know. Right, not right. What the fuck?
Go crush that core, Koopa.
Razor Gale is designed for people who run away. Razor Gale is the attack that's designed for people who run away. There are situations where I could have used Lightning Strike, but, you know, I'm not making excuses. I still come out with a W, regardless. But there is something involving a person that I looked up to a lot, named Seth the Programmer, and I think if anyone was following what has happened with him as of recent, Clyde, this guy named Clyde that I also follow. I follow Clyde, Deacon, Seth the Programmer, Six, you know, the big, you know, Noodles, everybody that was involved in the whole Seth the Programmer campaign. You know, and there is a lot to unpackage here, especially if you watched Clyde's video. You know, especially if you watched Clyde's testimony against Seth the Programmer. A very dark and it's, you know, I don't know, I shouldn't say it that way. I shouldn't talk in very dark and cause, you know. It's a very dark and, like, not, I don't know, it's really dark, you know, the things that have happened to this man. The things that tend to go on inside Discord, you know, as ridiculous as Discord was, you know, as ridiculous as Discord is and things like that, man, it's telling. You know, it's very, very telling. Like, the things that Seth the Programmer has done, the way he spins it, and tries to say everyone is taking it out of context, sexual harassment,
Use your skills,
and
Kubo.
using your power for, you know, using your power for just bad things with underage minors has always been like a bad thing, no matter how or which way you word it.
You have my thanks.
It's going to always be a thing. He was initially trying to avoid the whole title of being a pedo when he asked a 16-year-old girl for nudes and asked her for,
Use your skills, Kubo.
you know, that you know, money isn't an issue. He'll fly her out and, you know, these things.
You have my thanks.
It's incredibly crazy. It's incredibly crazy. Like, that's just the iceberg. Like, a lot of the people over there in that community had definite, I guess, for a lack of a better term, mental baggage and mental abuse has been happening to them for the longest. And it's sad because it took Seth the programmer this long. Like, we learned some things about him that we never knew. But Clyde's story is not, I'm not going to try and make a comparison, even though this is directly what I'm doing here. I don't mean for it to be a one, it's not a one-to-one. But it's part of the reason why I do what I do here. And why I'm not going to use the word terrorize, because that's not what I'm doing. You know, one could say that, you know, and it's mainly because of how people made you feel in the past about things that has happened in, this is why I never joined Lotus's group. This is why I never wanted to join his Discord. This is why I don't like Discord. As far as I go on the YouTube, I don't have a Facebook. I don't have, I let a lot of those things go. I don't even really be on Twitter except for to probably look at some low tier god situation, things like that. I don't really mess with social media like that except for like YouTube. And maybe looking at whoever is the Twitch player that I'm looking at. You know, this is, it's disturbing.
Couldn't have gone better.
But finally, after I'll leave the description to both podcasts, to a podcast and to a video on Seth from Clyde and Clyde's testimony. This has been things that have been a thing for years, adding up over the years, and no matter who you are, and this is another theme that I've always pushed. No matter who you are,
that makes us strong.
if you do wrong to someone, it will come back on you. You know. And this is a prime example of things finally catching up to Seth the Programmer. Do I truly feel different about Seth the Programmer? I never, I mean, I was part of other debating discords, but not a part of Seth his personal Discord or anything like that, which, according to him, it was never his personal Discord. It's a Discord for, no, it's a Discord that has what's the word for it? I guess it was owned by someone else, but nevertheless, Seth the Programmer is a very big internet influence amongst a specific crowd of people.
Kupo.
This is why he just needs to take accountability for the things he has done to people. You know.
Use your skills, Kupo.
He just needs to you see. Also, I'm going to pause for a second. That would have killed had it had lightning strike. This is what I was talking about earlier in the video. It makes the player look like they're better than they are because I'm used to their running away style. So it's all good. I give myself a handicap and still come out on top, which is crazy. Who trained this person? Y'all should feel ashamed of yourself. I don't think that would have changed that particular situation any different. 'Cause I might have went for lightning strike back then. Just a moment ago on that mix-up before he warped behind me. Nope. Not dealing with the wall game. Plus, I'm not taking it very serious, to be honest with you. I'm just still very, very, very casual. If I wanted to do that, I would just not fight in a way to not get my back to the wall. And in the event I do, I would never challenge anything. I just teleport.
Use your skills, Kupo.
That's what it's here for. Oh yeah, you forgot I have a hacks. But back to what I was saying, like Clyde delivered. I've listened to Clyde all the time because I like these guys. You know, I've listened to these guys for years, and to hear this come out and the horrifying things that Seth has done. I know I say this, and people probably not going to take it seriously, but these accusations are very serious, especially towards the end of the 6-hour podcast of Seth of the Gauntlet versus. There are people out here. I probably shouldn't say it this way. There are people out here legitimately calling him Sosuke Aizen. As Clyde is Minato Namikaze. They just, I mean, if you was to scale them, Minato's nowhere near Aizen, but you know, I guess it's Clyde was smart, but no, I'm not gonna look at it as a weeb debate thing. I'm just gonna be very punctual about what this really is. It's 100% a disturbing situation. Just 100%. I know as crazy as it's gonna sound, I still respect Seth the programmer as a debater. I still respect him as his content, but him as a person. I know this sounds like a stupid take. Him as a person, I don't know too much about, man, until he decides to change his ways. I don't know if I can support. Well, I never was supporting or be behind someone like that unless he comes in. And the thing is, right, there are questionable things because there was a lot more evidence out there of what he did to this girl. You know, lying about it, manipulating her little brother, things like that, you know, and he claims that we're all taking it out of context. So the sexual allegation is a joke. It's a meme. It was meant to be looked at as a meme. It's not meant to be taken seriously. You know, that's your problem if you take it that way. You know what I mean?
Your guard's gonna go, Kupo.
Which is not fair by no stretch of the imagination. Never, whether Seth was a minor, whether Seth is not a minor, will this ever excuse this
Keep them passing. Your enemies will summon soon, Kupo.
these actions?
Got him now. Changing plans.
The only way these actions would be excused would be a direct apology to the would definitely be a direct apology to the victims of
Use your
it.
skills, Kupo.
Seth uses the power to manipulate other people. Everything there has been projection based off of things that has happened to him in his real life. According to the information that we have now, that I can deduce. Everything has always been, usually, right? So, like, let's say, right, like, when I used to didn't know how to talk to girls and things like that, I had friends that would try and tell me the way I should or who I should go for and things like that. Trying to nitpick and pick out who they want me to mess with. That within itself is a form of...
Who cares how it gets done?
That within itself is a form of projection. Because since, you know, when I learned a lot more about the guy, you know, I learned that he is the one that secretly, you know, like I learned that he was the guy that secretly had a hard time talking to girls. And usually people, right, like that, when they do things to you, is never, it's because something they did, because they did something to you. You know, especially when you attack someone, because this shit happened to him. That would have been lightning strike, by the way. You know, but you know, that's usually the case. There's some horrible things that Seth did, like Clyde, but Seth wasn't really like vocal about him being suicidal and the hard S word. People were just being very, very cringy and very, very I mean, like, that's what you can expect, because, you know, like, everybody wants to be the supervillain. You know, everybody wants to, you know, it got down to the point of Seth would do things like go into, you know, like, Clyde had a girl he liked, and he would attack her, well, not really attack her, but figure out a way to make him or one of his, or I don't think it was Clyde specifically, but he did this to one of the people there. He did that to make him jealous for some reason, right? And, you know, I don't know why he did that to make him jealous, honestly. It's so strange that he would do something like that. This is very shit, like not what I was talking about just then. The way this player is fighting is very... The wall game is very Sheldon-esque. So I don't forget how people fight. I'm not saying this person is, but they've taken a play out of like certain players' playbooks. I can tell. There's certain things that they do. They are still really sloppy at a lot of things, especially with a character that's simple like Noctis. Dodging too early. But man, this isn't about this player. This isn't about this sad player that I verbally gave a concussion to after the match. But yeah, she's catch it. Yeah. She caught a verbal haymaker from me. That is crazy. I should have got closer. That would have been game over right there. We wouldn't have had to win in the overtime. And yeah, I would have won that. Another kill would have pushed me over the top. And we wouldn't have been, well, the video wouldn't have been this long, but man, I implore you guys, just, if you have the time today, go show Clyde, because I sympathize with Clyde, because a lot of the things that he's done, drug abuse, getting over it, getting, you know, out of that situation, changing who you are, IRL, and things like that, changed a lot of things about myself. I'm never once, nor do I expect to be forgiven for anything I've ever done to anybody. Because I don't view it as an attack. I view it as retaliation. The same thing that happens here, right? Like the stories that I say here will probably never reach the limelight, but it's coming through the pillar of light, per se. You know, the things that I've said here about Lokatsu, the things that I've dealt with Sheldon, the things that I've dealt with, you know, like I you know what, I will give Sheldon this though, right? And this ain't no shit talk. This is actually something good. I will give Sheldon this though, right? So when the whole Nendo situation happened, right? At least Sheldon was willing to not be a part of said environment because he kind of knows.
So this is how it is. You've just done
You know, just like I could tell the dynamic between the two of them. Sheldon's the smart one. Nendo's not as bright as you think. Because of the things that you try with people. You know. It's crazy. But I say y'all this, you know, like the reason I sympathize with him because some of the things that he's been through, like, you know, growing up in a bad neighborhood, you know, having these things happen to you, having people turn on you, having people, you know, like these things have happened in RRL. A lot of those things have happened to me, and that's why I sympathize with Clyde. You know, even though I didn't watch him as much as Seth the program because I've mainly watched these guys for like learning how to power scale. You know, because of the subculture genre of power scaling. You know, it's extrapolating information from a series. It's not exactly the whole Stan Lee claim of, well, said character. I mean, like, that's not how versus battles work. That's how in series characters work. So this is, you know, like that's the whole reason why no one ever beats the main characters, because they're as strong as they need to be when they need to be it. You know. But when you put them in a space that's outside of their own verse and they're facing, let's say, Cooler from Dragon Ball versus like Ichigo from Bleach, it's a whole nother story. You know, it's a whole nother dynamic. You know.
Use your skills, Kupo.
And these guys, you know, the thing about them, they said was like, ultimately start getting psychiatric help. And it's crazy because it's not because these guys are power scaling, seeing which drawing can punch each other harder in the face. You know. It's more about, this is a financial thing for you. These guys grew up basically homeless, and their livelihood is at stake. This is why they did this to each other. You know, because one felt threatened that they were taking the other one's livelihood.
Use your skills, Kupo.
It's a much different dynamic than what's happened here with me and these people. You know, even though there is the only similarity is the crazy things that I've experienced with. You know, like how a lot of similarities between well, I don't know this guy personally like that, but a lot of similarities between what was I gonna say? I mean, not sure. A lot of similarities between
You have my thanks.
Fagotsu, which is, you
Couldn't
know,
have gone better.
Motatsu Daemon, or the flower guy, right? A lot of the things that I've experienced, me personally, mirrors what has happened with Clyde and Seth. This is why I think this is more important to talk about than making fun of this player, right? You know, than making fun of said player. Which is not hard to do. You know, it's scary that, you know, like, instead of all of them working together to help each other, yeah, you know, like, so the story, I don't know, I'm not finna go over it in detail. Y'all can go watch the video. You know. And take it and make sure you watch it all the way through, and just don't nitpick little things. Or if you're not interested in this type of drama, and if you made it this far, then, you know, I could have manipulated the video in a way to make you listen to this long, but I didn't want to do it that way. I wanted to see if there would be anybody that would listen this long. I mean, my full story is amongst a bunch of videos with a bunch of different players. You know, it just is generally, you know, like, in the whole sexual assault allegation against Seth is like, it's scary because he would get other people to do it to her too. Right? And I guess she was the only person he could attack, so this is why he did it that way. He did it that way because, you know, reason.
Use your skills, Kupo.
You know what I mean? That's why he did it. It's crazy that people would abuse their power in such a way. That's scary that people really abuse power like that. That's,
Use your skills, Kupo.
it's something. But could you blame? Well, I mean, like, no one deserves, no woman deserves to be sexually harassed or sexual assault, because verbally, physically, it all falls under unwanted sexual unwanted advances, unwanted slurs, jokes, memes, all of it falls under sexual harassment. It's all the same thing. What a time to not have lightning strike, right? You see, that would have been game right there, bro. This player is trash. So now like, just like they say in Tekken, right? Like, I'm stuck in a match with a bad player with a strong 1v1 character that's like, even like it's even harder, right? Because now I have to give this player more chances to get. I'm still taking more of a risk, but that's all on me. I assumed the player was going to play in a certain type of way. And whoop, there you go.
We hope in the face of despair.
You know,
Makes us strong.
I don't know really what to say, man. I hope y'all come watch the video from them and really look at, just, like, there are bad things that happen in every community. It's like Call of Duty. It's like here in Dissidia, I'm assuming in Overwatch, I'm assuming, just like over here, the things I've dealt with.
Couldn't have gone better.
The only thing I've done wrong to people was make videos and expose them for what they've done.
We hope
and
in the
who
face
they
of
are.
despair. That makes us strong.
Man, I hope y'all go show Clyde and Seth some love, man. It's been to save your souls. The best lightning man out here. We'll catch y'all again.
The messenger is standing at the gate, ready to let go, ready for the crash of the messenger. Too late for whispers, too late for the blush. The past is mercy when the future's glow. Kneeling journey dressed in the cloak of shadows. The hunting's grim.